Chris Rockenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a well-known political catchphrase goes, it's the economy, stupid, and it is. And indeed, there is no amount of emotion, such as we've just heard expressed on the other side of the House, which makes a difference to the hard facts. Mr. Speaker, I'm delighted to speak in today's general debate on the economy. The economy is the most fundamental part of government, and it's the economy that influences the standard of living of our population. It's the economy which determines what we can afford to spend in the crucial areas of health, welfare and education, and it's the economy which is crucial for creating jobs and realising higher incomes. Let's reflect for a moment, Mr. Speaker, back over some of our economic history. The Holyoake years, through the Kirk years, the rolling years, the Muldoon years, the Longy, Palmer and Moore years, the Bolger years, the Clark years, and now, at a time of economic renaissance, the Key years. I know which of those periods, from my own experience in business, Mr. Speaker, and listening to others, I know which of those periods were the best for hard-working New Zealanders and their families, and it wasn't, isn't, and never will be during Labour's tenure. Labour likes a welfare-dependent constituency. Mr. Speaker, today I want to talk about the progress we've made in resurrecting the economy after 9 years, 9 long years of economic mismanagement. About the steps we have undertaken to ensure the edge has been taken off the recession, and Mr. Speaker, it has. About the policy direction we're moving forward in order to maximise our economic growth and productivity. We in the National Party look to reward resourcefulness, to encourage enterprise and to salute and celebrate success, and this is reflected in the economic decision-making of our team. First of all, Mr. Speaker, what kind of the economy did we inherit from the Labour government? When we, the National-led government, came into office, New Zealand had already been in recession for most of the year. By December 2008, fiscal update net debt was soaring to about 50% of GDP by 2023, and there were permanent deficits. It was obvious that this country needed some serious economic salvaging from the mess that Labour policies were largely responsible for. We've acted quickly, Mr. Speaker, to cap the numbers in our core bureaucracy, with $2 billion moved to frontline services. Another $1.8 billion will be redirected to Budget 2010. We've invested billions of dollars in critical infrastructure such as high-speed broadband, and we've implemented a $500 million relief package to make life simpler for small businesses. We have also simplified and streamlined the RMA. Perhaps, Mr. Speaker, the most important piece of legislation to date, and Mr. Mallard knows that. The Local Government and Environment Select Committee, of which I'm the chair, worked diligently and hard to ensure the amendments would achieve the intentions, to make it easier for businesses to grow, to invest and create jobs while protecting our environment. Mr. Speaker, this and other changes that we're embarking on will be a great boon for our economy. Let's think for a moment into the rural areas that we so much depend on for our revenue-earning capacity in the country. Let's look at the West Coast Tasman, an electorate of resilient, resourceful and hard-working people, and one that I'm very, very proud to represent. The recession has been cushioned by the increase of jobs in mining, the very industry Labour, its own origins, the very industry that Labour now wishes to dismantle and to suffocate. The tourism industry, under the guidance of the Minister of Tourism, the Prime Minister John Key, tourism in the West Coast has actually increased during the recession, and it has increased substantially. We have seen a stabilisation of agriculture and horticulture within the electorate. We are starting to see interesting changes. For example, I was doing a shop-by-shop visit the other day in Motueka. They're doing very nicely in the majority of retail businesses, and what they're reporting is that people are now coming over from Nelson to Motueka to shop for a greater range of goods and for price competitiveness.
Hone
Thank you, Mr.
Harawira.
Speaker.